The opening night of Trollwood's Performing Arts School's Cinderella is just around the corner. In fact, it's a week away. And we have a sneak preview here today. Joining us now, we have Travis Chinnick, the Trollwood costume designer. Exciting.
I'm so
welcome.
excited.
Welcome to Fargo.
Thank you.
Fargo Moorhead, and to the show.
Thank you, and thank you for having me. I really I'm so thrilled. Can't
Well,
even imagine.
I'm sure. So this, first of all, I have to point out that I am also wearing a costume.
A sensible Ella in her everyday garb, like one does.
That's right. This is so darling. So anyway, we've got all these costumes here, and you know what? Let's just go through each and every one of these, and then I have like a million questions for you.
I'm all for it. It's going to be great. We're going to have fun.
So okay, so what do we have here? Who is this?
We have Madame, who is the wicked stepmother. In her, I talk to them like they're actual people. Don't mind me. But in her ball outfit. And then in the center, we have the first costume that we see Topher, our Prince Charming, in. This costume was made by our shop manager, Courtney. This was made by our assistant shop manager, Lydia. And then to the right, we have Ella's second ball/banquet costume. So in the Roger and Hammerstein's version, Ella, Cinderella, or Ella, as we call her, has two gowns. The first one is a white gold gown, as brought out in the script. So sorry guys, no blue gown in this production.
I know, I wanted to, I'm like, where's the blue gown?
Well, we did the homage to blue in what you're wearing, so that you get a little taste of blue, right?
Right.
And then the prince throws a banquet when he's looking for his one true love to come back. And through the show, she ends up going to the second banquet in this magical gold gown that we see on our left. It's a gown that, in the history of the show, hasn't gotten a lot of photographic credit, and it holds a special place in my heart because it's when she really kind of stands up for her town and her people and lets the prince know, that they need more. And so it's a special gown to me, and I wanted to make sure that we saw it because
yes, it's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. And so I've always wondered, underneath here, what is this? The little
cages. So underneath, and I'm gonna pull up.
Yeah,
because,
definitely.
You'll see there's these little cages to the side,
okay.
right? And there's two of them. I call them buckets.
Sure.
And so basically they're made on cotton, and they've got little boning in them, whether it's steel or plastic or something, and it gives you that shape.
Okay.
For this show, we used an inspiration of both late 18th century, when the original Cinderella story was written, and then contemporary silhouettes as well, to kind of incorporate the origin with the very contemporary themes that are in the production that you all will be seeing when you come here.
Yes. So, okay, so Travis, you are the designer.
Yes.
And we talked about you draw up all these designs and your ideas. Do you then present them to those at Trollwood, and from there, how does that work?
So the way that works, and I apologize, I didn't say who was responsible for patterning this lovely dress. Our staff draper, Kaya, was responsible for the gold dress.
Okay.
I just want to make sure I'm a person who likes to talk about all the things.
Absolutely, and because we did talk about that, where you are the designer, but you have your seamstresses and so forth, right?
So what I'll do is I'll talk with Michael, and we'll go back and forth about ideas, and I'll make drawings.
Okay.
And then I meet with the shop before I even get here. And I'm like, hey, here are the shapes I'm thinking, here's my research, here are my line drawings, here's the painted thing. And then I will let them get to work on the shapes, and I'll start sending them the fashion fabric that I've picked out. So I'm a fan of spreadsheets, so I've got a huge spreadsheet of every fabric and where it coordinates with what pieces, right? So surprisingly enough, most of these fabrics came from Etsy. So this fabric actually came from overseas. I believe it was from London.
This one?
And then this came from somewhere in Minnesota, actually, of all things.
Yeah.
And we were very fortunate in that Etsy was our friend in a lot of ways. And so I'll do the fabrics, I'll send them the fabrics, and then when I come in, we fit what we call a mock-up, right?
Okay.
Which is, we use a stunt fabric to look at the shapes, and then I start drawing style lines on the performer, adjust to them to let the flavor of who they are come through my ideas. And then we come to this with the fashion fabric and a finished costume.
Right. Unbelievable. And just the detail that goes into this, that is what is fascinating. And I'm not sure, you know, our viewers can't necessarily see close up and personal here, but there's just, I mean, there's just every little detail in here. It's so pretty. I mean, it's really, really fun. I would love, I mean, these kids that get to wear these costumes have got to be just like enamored with.
We've had a blast.
I bet.
Yeah.
I bet.
I mean, we're in crunch time, so there's
Yes.
all of that. But I was saying to you earlier, what a show to come back to. Like Cinderella, like, it's a costume person's dream.
Right.
And feel so fortunate and so blessed to be with Trollwood and going on this journey together with these clothes.
And Travis, where are you from originally? Because you're not from here.
No, I'm not. I grew up in South Florida.
Okay.
And then went to college in Pennsylvania, of all places, and then moved to New York right after. And I've been living there for about 10 years.
Sure,
or so.
and it's interior design, and you know, I even said to you, I'm like, wow, and then you went on to grad school for this, and I mean, that is what I mean, you've spent a lot of time studying and obviously and preparing, and you have to for each and every one of the performances that you are designing for, right?
Yeah. No, there's a lot of text work and research and things that go into costume design. And like you said, both my undergraduate and my graduate degree are in costume design. And so, you know, lots of years of education and all that fun stuff.
Great. Thank you so much for being here.
Okay.
Really appreciate you being in here and coming in and bringing all these beautiful costumes. And I know it's a lot of work, and a lot of work has gone into this. And Trollwood's Cinderella does start on the 14th of July, and I believe it is sold out for that night. So that one is sold out, and then it goes through the 31st. So you can, we'll put all our information up on our Facebook page so that everybody can see when the performances are and get tickets and whatnot, because you don't want to miss this. This is going to be fantastic.
Thank you so much again for having me. I appreciate it. It was a blast.
Good. Yeah, it was. I love that I got to wear a costume. Coming up on today's show, a way to keep your eyebrows full and shaped without all the effort.